very soon. I'm leaving quite early tomorrow morning.
It's raining here today at the Writer's Trick Box. I love quiet, rainy days. For me, there is no better excuse than a rain shower to sit curled up with my favorite mug under a cozy blanket and think about the wonderful world of story. Today, we're going to continue our discussion in this present series and talk more about another common problem that tends to get in the way of enjoying our creative process and telling our stories. One of the most common things we say to ourselves when we want to write but don't know where or how to begin is the phrase, "I don't know what to write about." Trust me, we have all been there. Probably every person has been there at some point or another when they found themselves having to pull an idea seamlessly out of midair. Students of all ages ponder this question as they work on their dreaded term papers. Professionals face this question when they're put in charge of leading a work presentation or composing a speech. Everyone, including writers, has probably felt that icy panic that consumes us as we stare down at the blank page. The blankness seems to grip hold of our minds, wiping whatever we would have otherwise been thinking about clean, as an awkward internal silence tends to seep in. For many of us compelled to write, we want to write something so badly. We know we should be writing something, anything. We squirm uncomfortably while we hunger and thirst to be like those other people in our imagination that take that blank page by the throat and drown it in effortlessly flowing words. We want to feel brilliant. We want to dive into the waters of writing abandon, but the blank page simply sits before us empty, often triggering us to feel an assortment of other uncomfortable emotions: doubt, confusion, frustration, boredom, resentment. We may even start to judge ourselves unkindly. We forget that the blank page is just a vessel. Its most basic purpose is to contain the flow of our thoughts, feelings, and impressions. The best advice I can give anyone who finds themselves in this situation, and I promise you we all do, is to encourage you when in dire straits to ask yourself not what you should write, but how you want to feel while you're writing. Writers write for many reasons. We write for catharsis and for amusement. Sometimes we write to educate or inform or argue. Other times we write to explore. At the beginning and end of it, most writers are compelled to write because it feels good, or at the very least allows us permission to feel at all. We must be willing to give ourselves whatever permission we need to tap into that pure, shapeless flow that's running through all of us. The flow is the fuel that gives us the strength to move forward without the restrictions of judgment and fear that whatever we try to write isn't going to be good enough. Because sometimes the phrase, "I don't know what to write about," is really code for, "I don't think I'm qualified to write." It is this real or imagined restriction, limitation, and or insecurity that keeps us from the most valuable aspect of the writing process. If allowed to overtake us, this self-defeating statement robs us of the valuable gift of personal growth and exploration that the craft of writing can so richly afford us. Not knowing what to write about is an invitation to discover things inside ourselves and in the world that we may not even be aware are there. Let yourselves be curious. Instead of looking at the blank page as a dubious enemy, try to look at it as a trusted friend who will always be there for you. You can tell that friend anything and take them anywhere with you, and that friend can return the gesture in kind. This is Alexandria S. Allen, watching the rain fall at the Writer's Trick Box. I hope that you come and sit with me again.